Hello and welcome to this special video regarding the special assignment in the Statistics for Psychology class. Now it's been looming, and certainly I know many of you are aware of conversations we're having about the fact that in this class of statistics, you'll be preparing a document as your final assignment that you are then going to carry over into next semester where you are going to conduct your study. So I thought I would take this time to kind of create a video to kind of get people's head wrapped around this idea, and through these last weeks of the class, engage you in the process of putting together what we're going to call your proposal. Now, the instructions for this are in your course book, in the Statistics for Psychology course book, and the title of that section is Planning Your Study. So I want you to be able to read this for detail, go right through this document. It goes through the learning outcomes and the task and the different steps that you're going to have. And ultimately, at the end, you're going to produce a document that outlines your research question and a summary of the research that you have, basically from your target article, your sampling plan, a review of the ethical considerations of your study, your hypotheses based on the preponderance of the evidence, the methods, and specifically the analysis. This is really the application of this class, statistics, to how are you going to run your numbers, and then your plan of action as to how you expect to actually do this study next semester. So let me run down kind of the basic expectations. At this level in your career, it would be daunting for you to come up with an original study to explore new knowledge, and there's quite a lot out there. So if you have a specific frame of reference or topic that you want to look at, it could be very easily found. Existing research can be looked at. My principal recommendation for you is to find a study that has been done that interests you and replicate that study. Replication is an important part of the advance of psychological knowledge. So you take that study and to the degree that we'll negotiate, you replicate that study, collect the same data, pursue the same hypotheses, and explore as to whether you get the same results as the original study. Now, you can look for a study based on your own preferences and work that way. I have found that students find great success in utilizing their access to a journal that's available for free on the American Psychological Association website called Monitor in Psychology. Now, this particular resource is also discussed in the course book. It is found in the appendix section of the course book, and you'll see it says Monitor on Psychology, and you have a link. Now you click on that link and you open it in a website, and here you are at the Monitor in Psychology. Now, what it brings you to is the latest edition. This is the most recent edition of the Monitor on Psychology, but through this website, you have access to a whole historical set of the different journals. In fact, if you look over here on the right, you can see that you can actually download an app from the App Store, an app from Google Play, download for Kindle. These apps can be used so that you can actually explore this edition and previous editions on your tablet, on your phone. Very easy access to these things. Now, to pinpoint your research and use of this particular journal, I want to point out a particular section of the journal here on the website, and it's available in the print magazines, and it's available in the differently laid out in the app and whatnot. But what you're going to be looking for as I scroll down, I'm going to get down to the section that says research, and I'm going to look for this phrase right here, in brief. Every edition of the Monitor in Psychology has this section in it, and it gives a short, brief summary of 12 to 15 different research articles that have come out very recently. This is a great place to do a quick review, finding, for one, interesting areas of study that are going on, interesting results. I mean, these are screened. These are looked at as being of general interest to people who are studying psychology. That's how they make it into this journal. These are not the only things that were going on in the field of psychology in the last month, but they're really good and provocative research that's been going on. Students who have looked in this section have been successful in finding articles that are very interesting to them, and they can then explore replicating that particular study. So this is a really great free resource that you can access on your own in order to begin the process of selecting a research that you're going to replicate. So let's take a deep dive into this. So we have this section. It's giving you the first article right here, but if you click on that, it brings you to a page, and I'm going to scroll through this pretty quickly. You'll see that this first article is, having to do with limiting social media and its effect on body positivity and other research here. But if you scroll down, you start seeing these other titles. These are all different articles that are coming out. So let's take a look at this one, the benefits of limiting social media. So here you have a quick little summary here. Limiting daily social media can significantly enhance mental health of young adults. So they did a study here. Clearly, they're limiting social media use to 30 minutes per day. They did that for 2 weeks, and they did some measures, whatnot. That sounds like it might be something interesting for somebody to do. Now, right down here, associated with this article is a link. This is the DOI link to this article. And if I click that link, that will bring me to this article right here. Now, let's accept this here. It seems that this article is available in full text right here. You don't have to look it up. You don't have to get the library to get it. But here is an article from a special collection, Behavioral Addiction to Technology, that journal. I didn't even know that existed. What a cool thing that is. So you can download the article. You can cite it. Oh, let's look at that. Let's see if you can get the cite as, look at that. It gives you the APA citation right there. How cool. More cite options. Look, APA, Harvard. Look at all that. How cool. You can get the citation right out of there. That's not always available, but clearly in the Technology, Mind, and Behavior website, that is there. So you read through this article, and what you're sort of examining is, could I really pull this off in one semester? Is this something I can really sink my teeth into? You look at their methodology, you look at their analysis of data, you look at how they did their sampling, you look at the ethical considerations, all of those things. And let's just say you say, I think I want to do this. I want to replicate this study. I want to, collect some people, have them limit their social media to 30 minutes a day and measure the results of that and replicate this study. What then ensues is the process of working with me to develop a plan to how you are going to do that next semester. Now, the more work we do now, the better you will be positioned to get into your research early in the next semester and then complete that work earlier in the semester that will help you to finish the class. And so if there's a little something that happened with video, my Clean My Mac came up and it kind of overtook my screen there for a second. Sorry about that. So So let's just say we're going to go with this. So how do you begin that conversation with me? So this semester, and this is brand new, experimenting with this kind of process, getting it off the ground in terms of so early in this class. So let's go to Brightspace, and if you go into the in fact, let me show you this. So right now, this is, I'll make it so it's I'm going to view it like you do. So here's how you see the class. I'm looking at my current hybrid class right here. You go up to assignments and you select discussions. This is the same for the online class. Now what you're going to experience is the class communication, course questions, course lounge. These are empty because this is the face-to-face class. And then the next section is called planning your study. How appropriate. And what you will see is discussion boards for each section of this assignment. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to consider each part of this assignment as a two-part task. First, you post your idea and a link to the article in the research question and summary. This initiates a dialogue. Everybody's going to be posting them in there. It's going to make sure nobody's duplicating anything, and I will give you feedback as to whether or not I see it as feasible or any sort of concerns I might have about that particular research, or maybe brainstorm some ideas about how you might be able to pull it off. And so you post the article and then post a little dialogue about, why you're interested in that particular topic. We have that little dialogue, and then I'm going to respond to you and say, you're good to go. So you're keeping an eye on not only your own interactions with me, but the interactions I'm having with other people that might help you to better your participation in this particular discussion. You then can go on to the next discussion. Now, in that case, this is talking about sampling. Now, sampling is how are you going to actually go about getting subjects for your study? This is bare bones discussion, kind of like how are you actually going to do this? Are you going to send emails out? Are you going to use social media? Are you going to invite people to participate in the study? It's how are you going to actually do that? So through this discussion, you are progressing from each part of the final paper. Discussion first, and then once you're cleared of that discussion, you're ready to go on to the next discussion. In addition to that, you will be submitting a paper. Now let me go over to the assignment section and go to assignments, and you'll see that there is a section here. And you'll see that there's a paper for each one of these areas. Now, here's how this is going to work. You're going to start the first assignment you're going to post in the first research question area. Then you're going to submit a paper that has a title page and has the research question and summary in it. You have a section titled bold, research and summary, and then you summarize the article, and then you state your research question, largely coming from that article. What question are you trying to answer? You submit that. I'm going to grade that till it's 100, and then you're ready to go on to the next assignment, the sampling. You are going to take that same paper, and you're going to add the sampling to it. So when I get the sampling paper, it will have the already graded first section and the second section on sampling, and so on. The ethics, the hypothesis, your methods. Each of those papers, it's the same paper getting longer and longer. So at the end, when you have the planning your study, at the end, it's the only one that counts. It's going to have all of those materials. It's going to have a title page. It's going to have your research questions, summary, sampling, a draft of your ethics statement. That's going to involve getting permission from the individual, informed consent, your hypothesis, your methods, how you're going to analyze your data, and then your plan of action. And then finally, you submit the whole thing as one document, all perfected, and that's your final assignment. So when you submit your plan of action, it's going to look almost complete, but I'm going to grade that. I'm going to tell you what you need to fix. You can then choose to submit your another plan of action version, or you can go ahead and submit your final. So this is a process that can happen fairly quickly and needs to happen. We need to get through as much of this as possible by the end of the semester so that this document is ready for us to include in the next semester. One of the first assignments in research methods is going to be to resubmit this document to me. We are then going to take the document and place all that information in a template that I've created for you to write your final paper in the next class. Now that template is built on a research paper, research design. We're going to go ape on all the APA stuff. We're going to, and all of that stuff. But these pieces are going to fit into that paper format. In fact, most of these topics actually directly align to components in that final paper. So, access the monitor, find areas of interest or article, get that article either through a direct link or look up the article on EBSCO, or find our librarians to help you get it. Whichever way you want to do that, reach out to me in that discussion board saying I'm looking for this article, can't find it. Sometimes I can get them faster. Those kind of get this thing started and start doing the discussion till I get okay, and then do that first paper, the next discussion, the second paper, the next discussion, the third paper, the next, the fourth, and you're working your way, while we are learning about statistics, you're working your way to have a completed proposal by the end of this semester. That will make next semester very pleasant. I've already talked to some of you about. Some of you have already submitted. I want this process to start going quickly now. We only have a few weeks left. I'm going to be available all through the Thanksgiving break, which is next week. This is a grand opportunity to put this right out, get through as much of this as possible with whatever free time this coming week has given you. Take advantage of that. Let's get this started, get everybody ready for next semester when we're going to do all of these studies. So that is what I'm asking you to do as the special assignment here in statistics for psychology. I'm really looking forward. I've already talked to some people about their studies and they're already looking interesting. Going into the monitor and looking at the in-brief articles can be sometimes very inspiring. This is the excitement. This is why you are studying psychology. I want you to find something you really can dig your teeth in. You are curious about it. This is not just an assignment to get out of the way. This is the capstone assignment for this entire degree program to get you into the feeling of collecting information to see if your hypotheses are correct. That is just the coolest thing. So, engage in this, grab this thing, grab it by the horns, start looking at the monitor, and start participating in these discussions and submitting these papers. And let's get this done really quick and have a great time looking forward to next semester. So that's my presentation on the special assignment. And I look forward to starting to see action happening in these discussion boards, both in my face-to-face class and my online class. And we'll get started. And I think probably next semester I'm actually going to combine these so that the online, not next semester, but next time I teach statistics, I might combine them so the online students and the face-to-face students are sharing this particular aspect of the class. That would be really cool. So anyway, for this semester, I will see you in those discussion boards. Take care.